Kubor nakaslem jong udongsan Hima.
Kynhun Myntri Jaka Sarkar Jilla, Mendakas ngi kalai pawai teri ulbear arhajar arpoar. Kala Mynjur yagi katu kani talikiman, kentup yaka Megalia Minor Minerals Reclamation Fund Management Guidelines arhajar arpoar. Kenang ban Pynbha Biang yagi Jaka ki balas niudur, namar ka jingti yagi Marpohkhyndew. Nalor ke Megalia Minor Minerals Reclamation Fund Management Guidelines arhajar arpoar. Kynhun Myntri kala ajung Mynjur yaka PA Sangma Fellowship for Legal and Policy Research and Training daka bayatre lang bat ka National Law School of India University, Bengaluru. Yakini kirai ki bala Mynjur daka Kynhun Myntri. Layatu do Myntri rangba o konrad ki Sangma habakren chekilat pathai kubor ha secretarian.
Meeting today, and the main agendas today that were taken up was regarding the notification for the Meghalaya Minor Minerals Reclamation Fund Management Guidelines 2022. So under the minor minerals, we had started a reclamation fund back in the year 2015, and this was based on an order from the High Court. Based on that, the funds have been collected, but the guidelines to actually use them had not been framed. They were in the process of being framed. And now that the framing has been done, this had come to the cabinet for its approval, and we have approved it. After this is done, the utilization of the funds through a governing body and through an executive committee will be undertaken. Yeah, so there is no specific amount for a specific fund. It will depend on the proposals that will come up. So for this, a number of departments have been identified through which the implementation will be done. For example, the soil conservation, the water resource, the mining geology, the forest department, then the PCCF, the pollution board. So different kind of bodies have been and departments have been identified through which these funds will be released. And this will be worked out at the executive committee level, which will be finally approved by the governing body, which is headed by the Minister in charge of Forest, and the Vice Chairperson is the Chief Secretary for that.
Since it involves many departments, which agency will in particular look after?
So therefore this governing body that has been formed, which is headed by the Minister, and the Vice Chairperson is the Chief Secretary, and there are other members from different departments. So there's a governing body, and under the governing body there's an executive committee which is headed by the secretary or the additional chief secretary of forest department, and other department officials will be part of that. And this executive committee will then put up the proposals which will be approved then by the governing body. Second, we have also given approval to the GST rules, which were also some of them were ex post facto. From 2018, 19, 20 and 21. These are basically GST rules that are applicable with the amendments that come in. And so normally we amended the Act, but we also felt that the rules also should be placed in Cabinet. So hence we went through the entire exercise of placing all the rules also, which followed the amendment to the Act, also placed in the Cabinet for its approval. We've also started a fellowship program. This is the third one with National Law School of India. The purpose of this fellowship program is to have students and graduates and people who are following their graduation and post-graduation in National Law School India, Bangalore, to work with the Government of India. So there will be two fellowships. We are calling the fellowship the PA Sangma Fellowship for Legal and Policy Research Training Collaboration, and the National Law School will select these fellowships, and a small stipend will be given to these individuals to work with the government departments to ensure that the proper research and everything is done in this policy making. At the same time, our officials will also be sent to National Law School of India, Bangalore, to also get training in these aspects. So these were and of course we had also a fourth subject, which was the extension of the terms of service of Colonel Gautam Rai, who is the director of Sainik Board. His term was extended by 3 years, and also the term of Colonel M. Shushafir Singh, the post of Zilla Sainik Welfare Officer Tura. Both these two posts were extended for another 3 years. So these were the decisions that were taken today in the cabinet. Entire incentive fund, which was started in the previous government's time, so the incentives were building up. And if you look at the amounts that were released, amount of approximately about 10 or 12 crores was released in 2011. And then again in 2013 or 12, I can't remember right now, another maybe 10 or 12 crores was released. And then after that, for almost 4 years, none of the incentives were released. And this kept building up for many, many years. It was only when the MDA came in 2018, we released a large amount in 2019 and another amount in 2020. And then we have released the highest amount, which is about 56 crores this year. And while we were clearing the amounts that were due in the last 3 years, we also cleared the amounts that were not paid in the previous 4 years before we took the government here. So this has been building up. It has been a big challenge, and like in the power sector, while we cleared the Atmanirbhar loan and cleared the NTPC amount of 400 crores for power which we did not use. Similarly, in Asha case also, these are all build-ups. And again, this is a continuous process. But as I said, backlogs were there, and though we were clearing the immediate bills that were coming to us, we were not able to clear the backlogs of the previous government. So now we are in a position, and we have done that. And still some amount is left, which we will be clearing in the next maybe few months.